Hi, I'm Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter, and with me today, Meridith Elliott Powell. Meridith, introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Meredith Elliott Powell, and I am excited to be on this episode with Mark Hunter.
Okay, the question is, why are so many people not successful in sales?
What a great question and what a deep question. We might be on this episode for quite a while. But Mark, I think it begins with just the term sales. I mean, I feel like every time I say sales, it's like I feel the energy suck out of the room, right? It has such a negative connotation. So, I mean, I remember when I was young and a lot of people would tell me that I would be good at sales, and I used to just cringe at the thought. So, I think really the first culprit is just getting over that first hump of getting comfortable with calling yourself a sales professional.
Wow, that really is true because people are afraid. I remember early on, I struggled. My first two sales jobs I got fired from. And it's because I couldn't wrap my head around this whole idea of what sales was. And sales is about helping people. And if you really think about it, what are you doing? You're helping people. And being successful in sales is then also it's being disciplined, because again, I think that's what so many people lack, is they lack the discipline. The argument I love to say is thinking about prospecting is not prospecting. You might be thinking about your customer, but you know what? I don't think your customer is thinking about you. So you have to be willing to get out there and do it. And yeah, there are some things in the sales process that maybe a little squeaky and so forth. But you know what? The first time you rode a bicycle, I bet you fell off of it. No, you didn't. You're too perfect an athlete. Okay, I fell off it. But what I do, I got back on it. And after a while, you become very, very good at riding a bicycle. And it's the same thing. Sales is something that I think people give up on too quickly because, I'll just go find a different job.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing, though, that what you really brought to mind for me is that this is not an instant gratification skill. And I think it's probably another reason that people struggle with it is that, I mean, this, you and I sell day in and day out. And some weeks, it's amazing. Everything you throw out there, the deals just come through. But more often than not, you are doing way more outreach than you are getting response to. So when you said discipline, you've got to have the discipline to do it day in and day out and pace yourself and do it no matter whether the deal is coming through or not. Just keep going.
And you're going to face a lot of rejections. And you're right. And it's easy to say, oh. But you know what, though? Don't look at a rejection as being against you. It's just they're just not ready. I always say when a customer rejects me, that's only a moment in time. I have no idea. They may come back to me later on. It may be something else, but I cannot allow myself to be, because otherwise you're right. I'll quickly go into a hole. And that comes up to a piece. I think one of the key things is in sales, you have to hang around with great salespeople. You have to hang around. That's why I love communicating with you, because when you hang around with successful salespeople, it's amazing how more successful you become. And if you notice, many times I hate to use the term losing salespeople, is because they're hanging out with losing salespeople.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things that I learned when I first went into sales, and we talked a moment ago about being afraid of it, and I was too. But the difference is when I threw myself around high performers, I mean, really high performers, there's a couple of things. You're absolutely right. You get osmosis. It just rubs off on you. The other is really great salespeople are people who will give you their secrets, their ideas, and their strategies. You can learn so much just by going on a call with them and watching them. But the thing that you will learn is they stay in the game.
So if you had to give one tip to a salesperson out there who's watching this and is struggling, what would you say?
The first thing that I would say to them is that go get a mentor, go get somebody that is good at sales and go spend some time with them. Mark, I have to tell them a second thing, and that I would tell them to watch these episodes that we're doing.
Well, there you go. You just took the one that I was going to share. So, hey, my name's Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. Meridith, how can people reach you?
Elliott Powell, and you can find me at valuespeaker.com and all the social networking sites, especially LinkedIn.
And I'm Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. This is another episode. We don't know what we're calling it, but we're having a great time doing it. Great selling.